Meanwhile, a somber mood today among Bay Area Democrats. Our Wilson Walker talked with a group of them about how they're feeling on day one of Trump's second presidency.
I'm wearing a T-shirt representing Kamala Debbie Harris, for whom I knocked on 2,460 individual voters' doors in 6 swing states on 9 trips.
Campaign volunteer Kimberly Rodler came to San Francisco's MLK March with her Statue of Liberty. But like many here, she really didn't have much to say about the day's other proceedings.
Donald Trump is like a wildfire of nonsense, and I just wouldn't follow him to the grocery store.
You just look at the photos of the inauguration, and it's like this oligarchy that's going to start looting the country.
State Senator Scott Wiener called the inauguration a bitter pill for Democrats and a challenge.
Supported by a lot of regular people who are just really frustrated with what's happening in the country and with government's inability to do some basic things. So we are focused, of course, on the evil that Trump brings and defending California, but also trying to understand what we need to do better as government to deliver for people on housing, on transportation, on all the things that people need, so that grifters like Donald Trump, scam artists like Trump, can't win elections.
And to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy.
So that's the sense that I see with all my friends and the people that, that they are kind of like, what's going to happen?
A small group gathered to watch the address at Manny's. The mood here, as you might expect, very somber, with many expressing concern over what may come from early executive orders.
And even in the Latino community, they are worried. It's like, oh my God, they will come and take us, my family, and kick us out. And then the gay community, the transgender. I mean, he already said that already. And so how do you see that these people are going to be feeling about it?
So the events in Washington were on a lot of minds, even those who did not watch or even want to talk about it. Rodler says this was a day to take that energy and focus it elsewhere.
You know, today's proceedings are dispiriting to me when I think about them, and maybe for other people, some other people watching. And I know that each one of us has so much to offer and strength, something hopeful that we can do. So go ahead and do that.
You may remember at Daniel Lurie's first press conference as mayor-elect, he was asked repeatedly about the re-election of Donald Trump, and he answered it this way.
I have serious disagreements with President Donald Trump, but I will never let those disagreements get in the way of addressing the problems facing San Francisco. Next.
That sentiment that San Francisco and California has its own challenges to deal with, that was expressed more than a few times today. And if for Democrats that is the best way to respond to a second Trump administration, well, then that work gets started right now.
On day one, President Trump signed nearly 200 executive orders, memos, and proclamations. His first round was signed at the Capital One Arena in front of a cheering crowd. The rest signed inside the Oval Office. As we mentioned earlier, this includes pardons for the 1,500 people involved in the January 6th Capitol assault. The president also signed an order declaring a national energy emergency, encouraging the use of natural resources like oil and coal. He's also signed executive orders declaring illegal immigration a national emergency at the southern border, and one aimed at ending birthright citizenship. Also, Trump is directing every department and agency to address inflation.